Hey everybody, Martin Chuck here, Tour Striker Training Equipment and the Tour Striker Golf Academy this summer at Sun River Resort in beautiful Central Oregon. I'm going to do a little self-analysis here, kind of give you an idea what I look at when I'm looking at a golf swing. Went out and practiced today, kind of a novel concept. Got a 5-iron in my hands. I'm hitting a shot out at a pin out there. Can't see it on the video, mind you. Let's take a look. Let me tell you what I'm looking at and what I'll look at when doing a swing analysis. Clearly this camera angle is a little cockeyed, but clearly looking for ball position. I want to make sure the ball position's in a decent place relative to the feet. I play my golf ball just left to center inside my left heel. I'm really looking at people's grips, how they hold the golf club, where the pressure is in the hands, that sort of thing. Clearly the natural posture of the golfer. Now keep in mind, I'm just going to share with you that I'm on a just kind of a bit of a funky slope here, where I've got probably a few degrees where the ball is below my feet and the wind's a little bit blowing left to right. But stuff I'm looking at, like I don't not a real big line drawer on doing more just to kind of explain what I do, but I will put down. I like to see kind of what the shaft's doing, and I like to see what is going on with where the hands are going. I like to throw a vertical line in and just kind of see where the body's going. So let's take a look over here on the right screen. The pin is pretty close to where I've got that vertical 90 right there. That was under my nose. But let's click back here and just take a look. Share with you what I'm working on. And I'm always working on balance and rhythm. The Golf Machine talks about essentials and imperatives, and essentials, rhythm, balance, and a steady head, and those are good ones. I mean, those are, you don't need any of them, but they're certainly good to have in place. So my club works back in a pretty good path. The first parallel when the club reaches the ground, it's parallel to my target line. That's I guess is a good thing, because there's players that play from all over that particular position. But it's a clean look when you see that in a player's backswing. There's not a whole lot going on. I'm just trying to get a nice deep shoulder turn. At the top, I do like to look at a student's position, club face and left forearm, just to see what's going on, because it doesn't have to be perfectly matched up, but if it isn't, then there's some sequencing that will help a student get to impact if they have, say, a closed club face, like perhaps like a Dustin Johnson or Graham McDowell comes to mind. So that's important. On the way down, with me, when I look at this, I'd like to keep my butt on that line a little bit longer. I'm getting a little bit stuck, in my opinion. But this was a pretty good strike. And I get that one little circle out of there. The shaft's a little bit above the address shaft plane, just because, well, most golfers get it a little bit above. We just don't want to get it too steep, but that's a pretty good looking impact alignment where that shaft and right forearm are pretty much matched up. I look at in this position right here, I like to kind of see what's going on with the head, where it moved. Did it move toward the ball? Did it move away from the ball? And again, people have these little idiosyncrasies, and you can work with these, not a problem, but it's just nice to recognize, because as a coach, it helps me coach the student to become a little bit more effective striker. I look for the exit path. I want to see the club exit somewhat parallel to the address shaft plane, and low, kind of where it is, coming out of the middle of my chest. Now keep in mind there was a little bit of wind left to right, a little ball below my feet, so this is probably a little bit lower. Well, it is a little bit lower than what I'd normally see with my own swing. And then one thing I really want to share with you guys is that, there's the picture you see decent ball strikers in, eyes looking at the ball. And the next frames, you'll see my head release, because I don't want to interrupt what my core is doing. which is rotating, delivering a solid strike. You know, it's helping my arms and hands to deliver that strike in, you know, up into a balanced finished position, which is something that I've worked on since I was a little kid. I always try to hold my balance, or at least arrive in balance. Over here on the left screen, let's take a look. You know, decent balance. I think I hit that one okay. Back to address. You know, what I'm personally working on is as I'm getting a little older now, I'm 42, I noticed that you know, my shoulders and upper body don't want to turn like they used to. So, whoops. You know, I'm trying to focus on a nice solid turn. And here's the thing, like, I'm really working on it there, and I see that to me is somewhat limited. So I've got to keep stretching, keep working out, and keep trying to work on a nice deep turn of my shoulders. When I say that, you'll notice my club, even though that's a fairly decent turn, you know, my club isn't certainly parallel to the ground because I've got decent width in my arms. That's something I really look for, and maybe it's best seen on this right screen over here. I don't like to see, I'll go to the top, you know, over here on the right screen, I don't like to see this angle get too narrow. It's really important to keep some width in that that angle right there. If it gets too narrow, sure, I might have a little bit more travel on this over here on the left screen, and the club might get a little bit lower, but that angle, to me, it's not that big a deal. I'd rather have a nice solid top of the backswing position, coiled up properly, so in the transition I can deliver some hit. So let's take a look here on the way down. In my swing, I tend to kind of rock to the right, and then I kind of rock to the left. So I'm aware of that. And you'll notice there's a good shadow here. I love practicing with the sun out, and I can get my shadow over the golf ball, because when you use these tools, here's Mother Nature helping you out here. And what you can do, you know, is just kind of, even though I'm staring at whitey, I can be aware of my, you know, where my head is, where my shadow is. And you can see there's my little rock away move, my little rock back move. But, you know, I'm trying to work on that. I'm aware of that. And, you know, some of us physically can't keep our head still. We just can't, and that's fine too. But if you're able to, through stretching and exercise, that's much better. So I didn't say down, I said still. Now as I come through impact, and I'm always going to look at an impact alignment, or how a club wants to pass through impact, because impact is I don't know, you know, it's something that you can't control. It's just an intent of understanding how the tool works. You know, and I want this club just mildly leaning on the ball, tour striker manner, just a few degrees forward lean with a few degrees downward strike. The perfect math for the tour striker is 4 degrees forward lean, 4 degrees downward strike for the 7-iron. So I'm looking for a little bit of downward strike, and I don't quite have impact captured, but my hands are, you know, pretty much at the golf ball, so there's going to be a little bit of downward strike and a little bit of forward lean. Releasing my head, you'll see my visor start to go with my pivot. Don't want to keep my head down. I don't want to stifle good rotation, so I'm always looking at this. When I'm reviewing a student's video, I really pay close attention to what their head is doing through here. I'll always look at the divot. You know, divots do not go straight down the target line. They should go left, unless you're very tall, for a few different reasons. We'll get into it another time. But just a thin divot with a 5-iron up into a nice balanced finish. And these are the things I'm looking for. So if you'd like a video analysis, send me an email, martin@tourstriker.com. Be happy to take a look at your golf swing. It takes me about half an hour generally. about $60, and I'll put a few drills on a video just like this, and of course you'll see yourself in a video like this, and hopefully I think it'll help you. So thanks for watching.